Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone. Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to ask for the price in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny, and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to ask for the price through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Excusez-moi, combien coûte ce tableau? Quel tableau? Ce tableau, ici? Oui, ce tableau. Il est à 700 €. D'où vient le peintre? Il est français. Let's break it down. The first sentence will be our focus. Let's take a look at its elements. Excusez-moi, combien coûte ce tableau? Excuse me, how much does this painting cost? First is excusez-moi, which means excuse me. Excuser is the formal or plural form of excuse, used to get someone's attention politely. Excusez. Excusez. Next is moi, meaning me. Moi. Moi. Together, excusez-moi means excuse me. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. Next is combien, which means how much. Combien. Combien. Then coûte, meaning cost or does cost. Coûte. Coûte. Next is ce, a demonstrative adjective meaning this or that. Ce. Ce. Finally, tableau, meaning painting or picture. Tableau. Tableau. All together, it's excusez-moi, combien coûte ce tableau? This literally means excuse me, how much costs this painting? But translate as excuse me, how much does this painting cost? Quel tableau? Ce tableau? Ici? Which painting? This painting? Here? Oui, ce tableau. Yes, this painting. Il est à 700 €. It is 700 euros. D'où vient le peintre? Where is the painter from? Il est français. He is French. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Combien coûte is an interrogative phrase that means how much does it cost? Coûte, meaning costs or does cost, it is the third person singular form of the verb coûter, to cost, used for singular objects. Please note that for plural nouns, could become coûte to match the plural subject. Next are the demonstrative adjectives ce, cette, and c'est, meaning this, that, des, and does. To use this pattern, replace noun with the noun you want to ask about, ensuring agreement in gender and number. Let's look at the demonstrative adjectives ce, cette, and c'est. Have you ever wondered why French has 4 different ways to say this or that? That's because demonstrative adjective must match the noun in gender and number. For a masculine singular noun, that starts with a consonant. Ce is used like ce livre, meaning this book. But if the masculine noun starts with a vowel or a silent H, cet is used instead. Like cet arbre, meaning this tree, or cet hôtel, meaning this hotel. This small change makes pronunciation smoother. For a feminine singular noun, cet always applies, no matter if the word starts with a consonant or a vowel. So it's the cette chaise for this chair, and cette école for this school. And for plural nouns, gender doesn't matter. C'est works in all cases. Ces livres for these books, and ces maisons for those houses. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Excusez-moi, combien coûte ce tableau? Excuse me, how much does this painting cost? In this sentence, excusez-moi means excuse me and isn't a part of the pattern. Next is combien coûte, meaning how much does it cost? Followed by ce, meaning this, which refers to the item being asked about. In this example, tableau, a masculine singular noun meaning painting. So the full sentence excusez-moi, combien coûte ce tableau means excuse me, how much does this painting cost? Now you can use this structure to ask about the price of anything when shopping in France. Bargaining is not common in most French shops, especially in chain stores, supermarkets, and department stores, where prices are fixed. However, you can negotiate prices in a few places, such as open-air markets, flea markets, and antique shops. Now, let's look at some speaking examples. Combien coûte cet album? How much does this album cost? Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Combien coûte means how much costs, followed by cet, meaning this. Finally, we have the masculine singular noun album, meaning album. Notice that here, cet is used instead of ce, because album starts with a vowel. So that is how combien coûte cet album follows the combien coûte plus cet plus noun pattern. Here's another example. Combien coûte ce stylo? How much does this pen cost? Combien coûte ce stylo? How much does this pen cost? Let's try one more. Combien coûtent ces chaussettes? How much do these socks cost? Combien coûtent ces chaussettes? How much do these socks cost? Remember, for plural nouns, coûte changes to coûte to agree with plural subject. Another one. Combien coûte cette robe? How much does this dress cost? Combien coûte cette robe? How much does this dress cost? One last example. Combien coûte ce sac? How much does this bag cost? Combien coûte ce sac? How much does this bag cost? Now you know how to ask for the price in French, and you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to describe something in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny, and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to describe something through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Excusez-moi, quel ordinateur est-ce que vous conseillez? Eh bien, cet ordinateur est très rapide. Mais il n'est pas très léger. Et cet ordinateur, il n'est pas très rapide, mais il est léger. Et il y a une promotion maintenant. Let's break it down. The first sentence is Excusez-moi, quel ordinateur est-ce que vous conseillez? Excuse me, which computer do you recommend? After that is the focus statement. Let's take a look at its elements. Eh bien, cet ordinateur est très rapide. Well, this computer is very fast. First is the phrase eh bien, meaning well. It is an informal interjection, often used to introduce a statement or show mild surprise, similar to well in English. Eh bien. Eh bien. Next is the word set, which means this. Set. Set. Ordinateur means computer. Ordinateur. Ordinateur. After this is est, which means is in English. Est. Est. Très means very. Très. Très. And finally, rapide means fast. Rapide. Rapide. All together, it's eh bien, cet ordinateur est très rapide. This translates as well, this computer is very fast. Mais il n'est pas très léger. But it is not very light. Et cet ordinateur, il n'est pas très rapide, mais il est léger. Et il y a une promotion maintenant. And this computer, it is not very fast, but it is light. And there is a promotion on it now. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Ce, cette, noun, est, très, adjective. This, that, noun, is, very, adjective. In French, when you want to describe something, you can use the structure ce, cette, followed by a noun, then est, and an adjective. This translates to this or that. Noun, is, very, adjective. The choice between ce, cette, and set depends on the gender of the noun. Adding très, meaning very, is optional, depending on the degree of emphasis you want to give to the adjective. Let's see how lines from the dialogue follow this pattern. Eh bien, cet ordinateur est très rapide. Well, this computer is very fast. We start with eh bien. This little phrase is just like saying well in English. It isn't a part of a pattern. Next up is set. This is where things get a little more specific. In French, demonstrative adjectives like ce, cette, and set all mean this or that, but they change depending on the noun that follows. Set is used before masculine nouns that start with a vowel sound, which is why we say cet ordinateur, because ordinateur starts with an O. If the noun starts with a consonant, you'd use se instead. And if the noun were feminine, you'd say set instead. Now, on to ordinateur. It means computer and is a masculine noun in French. Next is est, which comes from the verb être, meaning to be. In the present tense, est translates to is, just like in English. Then we have très. This is an adverb that means very. It adds intensity to whatever comes next, just like in English when we say something is very fast instead of just fast. And finally, rapide. This adjective means fast. One interesting thing about rapide in French is that it doesn't change for masculine or feminine singular nouns. No need to worry about agreement here. However, in the plural, it takes an S, so you'd say rapide when talking about multiple things. Put it all together, and we get eh bien. Cet ordinateur est très rapide, which means, well, this computer is very fast. Now, you can use this pattern to describe anything in French. In French, many adjectives change based on both gender and number. Most adjectives form the feminine singular by adding e to the masculine form. For example, grand, tall or big, is the masculine singular form, while the feminine singular form is grande. For example, cette maison est très grande, which means this house is very big. Now, let's look at some speaking examples. Cette robe est très chère. This dress is very expensive. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Cette means this, followed by robe, meaning dress. Est très means is very. Finally, we have the adjective cher, meaning expensive. Notice that this sentence uses cette instead of ce or cette, and cher instead of cher, because robe is a feminine singular noun. So that is how cette robe est très chère follows the ce, cette, cette, noun, est très, adjective patterns. Here's another example. Ce chapeau est nouveau. This hat is new. Ce chapeau est nouveau. This hat is new. Let's try one more. Cette salle est très grande. This room is very big. Cette salle est très grande. This room is very big. One last example. Ce sac est joli. This bag is pretty. Ce sac est joli. This bag is pretty. Now you know how to describe something in French. And you can move on to the practice. Au revoir.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to say what you want in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn how to say what you want through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Waouh, c'est une grande pièce. Cette peinture est très jolie. Ma femme l'aime aussi, mais je voudrais une peinture différente. Quel genre de peinture est-ce que tu voudrais? Je voudrais une peinture originale. Let's hear it with the English translation. Wow, c'est une grande pièce. Cette peinture est très jolie. Wow, it's a big room. This painting is very pretty. Ma femme l'aime aussi, mais je voudrais une peinture différente. My wife likes it too, but I would like a different painting. Quel genre de peinture est-ce que tu voudrais? What kind of painting would you like? After that is the focus statement. Let's take a look at its elements. Je voudrais une peinture originale. I would like an original painting. This starts with the word je, meaning I. Je. Je. Next is the word voudrais, meaning would like. Voudrais. Voudrais. After, this is the article une, meaning a or un for feminine nouns. Une. Une. Next is the noun peinture, meaning painting. Peinture. Peinture. Last is the adjective original, meaning original. 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 All together is je voudrais une peinture originale. This translates as I would like an original painting. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that most of our examples will follow. Je voudrais plus noun phrase plus adjective. I would like plus noun phrase plus adjective. Let's look at je voudrais first. Je means I and voudrais means would like. Together, je voudrais means I would like. This phrase stays the same no matter what you would like. After that is the noun phrase, the things that you want. And last is the adjective, the word that describes the noun. In French, the adjectives usually comes after the noun, not before it like in English. So the whole pattern is je voudrais plus noun plus adjective, or I would like plus noun plus adjective. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follow this pattern. Je voudrais une peinture originale. I would like an original painting. In this sentence, je voudrais means I would like. Une peinture is a noun phrase meaning a painting. Une is the article for feminine nouns and peinture is feminine meaning painting. Original is the adjective meaning original. It comes after the noun following the French word order. So, je voudrais une peinture originale translate to I would like an original painting. Now you can use this structure to ask for anything in French politely. In French, adjectives usually follow the noun, but not always. It depends on the adjective. Some adjectives come before nouns, just like in English. This is common with certain short or frequently used adjectives like petit, meaning small, grand, meaning big, or beau, which means beautiful. In these cases, the pattern becomes je voudrais plus article plus adjective plus noun. I would like plus article plus adjective plus noun. We'll see some examples later. Let's talk about the difference between voudrais and veut. Both are conjugated form of the French verb vouloir, which means to want. Voudrais means would like. And it's the polite way to ask for something. You'll hear it often in cafe stores or anytime someone wants to make a request in a respectful and courteous way. On the other hand, veut means want, and it's a lot more direct. In some situations, it can sound too strong or even impolite. When speaking to waiters, strangers, or in formal situations, voudrais is a better choice to keep your tone polite and friendly. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Je voudrais une belle maison. I would like a beautiful house. Can you see how the second pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, je voudrais means I would like. Une means a. It is the article. Belle means beautiful, and it is the adjective. Maison means house, which is the noun. In French, adjectives like belle often come before the noun, especially for beauty, age, goodness, and size, known as bags adjectives. Which is why belle, maison, is correct. And the sentence follows the je voudrais plus article plus adjective plus noun pattern. Here's another example. Je voudrais un sandwich chaud. I would like a warm sandwich. Je voudrais un sandwich chaud. I would like a warm sandwich. Let's try one more. Je veux une grande pizza. I want a big pizza. Je veux une grande pizza. I want a big pizza. Another one. Je voudrais un café fort. I would like a strong coffee. Je voudrais un café fort. I would like a strong coffee. One last example. Je veux un petit chien. I want a small dog. Je veux un petit chien. I want a small dog. Now you know how to say what you want in French, and you can move on to the practice. Au revoir.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to manage an hotel check-in in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny, and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn about managing hotel check-ins in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. L'enregistrement à l'hôtel est à partir de 15 heures. Nous avons encore 30 minutes. Voilà le lobby. Est-ce que tu veux un café? Oui, s'il te plaît. Quel genre de piscine est-ce qu'il y a ici? C'est une piscine intérieure. Elle est ouverte jusqu'à 22 heures. Let's break it down. The first sentence will be one of two we focused on. Let's take a look at its elements. L'enregistrement à l'hôtel est à partir de 15 heures. Check-in at the hotel is from 3 p.m. This starts with the word l'enregistrement, meaning check-in. L'enregistrement. L'enregistrement. Next is the phrase à l'hôtel, meaning at the hotel. À l'hôtel. À l'hôtel. Last is the phrase est à partir de 15 heures, meaning is from 3 p.m. Est à partir de 15 heures. Est à partir de 15 heures. All together, it's l'enregistrement à l'hôtel est à partir de 15 heures. Check-in at the hotel is from 3 p.m. Nous avons encore 30 minutes. Voilà le lobby. Est-ce que tu veux un café? We still have 30 minutes. Here is the lobby. Do you want a coffee? Oui, s'il te plaît. Quel genre de piscine est-ce qu'il y a ici? Yes, please. What kind of pool is there here? The final sentence will be the second one we analyze. Let's examine its components. C'est une piscine intérieure. Elle est ouverte jusqu'à 22 heures. It's an indoor pool. It is open until 10 p.m. This starts with the phrase c'est, meaning it's. C'est. C'est. Next is the phrase une piscine, meaning a pool. Une piscine. Une piscine. Next is the word intérieur, meaning indoor. Intérieur. Intérieur. Together, c'est une piscine intérieure. It's an indoor pool. Next is the phrase elle est ouverte, meaning it is open. Elle est ouverte. Elle est ouverte. Next is the phrase jusqu'à 22 heures, meaning until 10 p.m. Jusqu'à 22 heures. Jusqu'à 22 heures. All together, c'est une piscine intérieure. Elle est ouverte jusqu'à 22 heures. It's an indoor pool. It is open until 10 p.m. Let's look at the sentence pattern. The first pattern is the structure that some of our examples will follow. Noun or noun phrase est à partir de time. Noun or noun phrase is from time. First is the noun or noun phrase. This is the thing you're talking about, like an event, a reservation, or a service. Then we have est à partir de, which means is from. This phrase marks the starting time of something. And finally, we have the time. This can be in 24-hour format. In this pattern, est is the third person singular form of the verb être, which means to be. À partir de literally means starting from, but in natural English, we just say from. Let's see how the line from the dialogue follow this pattern. L'enregistrement à l'hôtel est à partir de 15 heures. Check-in at the hotel is from 3 p.m. In this sentence, l'enregistrement is the noun meaning check-in. That's the thing we're talking about. À l'hôtel tells us where the check-in is happening. At the hotel. All together, they will form the noun phrase. L'enregistrement à l'hôtel. Meaning checking at the hotel. Then comes the key part. est à partir de 15 heures. This means is from 3 p.m. So, est is the verb is. And à partir de 15 heures means starting from 3 p.m. So, l'enregistrement à l'hôtel est à partir de 15 heures. Translate to checking at the hotel is from 3 p.m. Now you can use this structure to talk about start times for all kinds of events or services in French. For the next pattern, let's look at how to say until what time something will be. Noun or noun phrase est ouvert jusqu'à time. Noun or noun phrase is open until time. We start with the noun or noun phrase, the thing that is open. This could be a place like a store or a restaurant. Next is est ouvert or est ouverte. This means is open. Ouvert is used when the noun is masculine. Ouverte is used when the noun is feminine. After that, we have jusqu'à, meaning until, followed by a time like 22 hours, which is 10 p.m. in 24-hour time. So when you want to say something stays open until a certain time, this is the pattern you'll use. Let's see how the second focus from the dialogue follows this pattern. Elle est ouverte jusqu'à 22 heures. It is open until 10 p.m. In this sentence, elle refers to something feminine. In this case, la piscine intérieure, the indoor pool, as we heard in the dialogue. Est ouverte, meaning is open. The adjective ouverte ends in I to match the gender of the feminine noun. Jusqu'à 22 heures means until 10 p.m. So, elle est ouverte jusqu'à 22 heures means it is open until 10 p.m. Now you can use this pattern to talk about when something closes in French. In France, many stores and businesses take a long lunch break in the middle of the day. It's common for shops to close around 12 p.m. and reopen around 2 or even 3 p.m. This break is called la pause déjeuner or the lunch break. That's why you might see signs that say ouvert à partir de 15 heures, open from 3 p.m. Big supermarkets and chains often stay open all day, but in smaller towns, that afternoon break is still a big part of daily life. Now let's look at some speaking examples. La banque est ouverte jusqu'à 17 heures. The bank is open until 5 p.m. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, la banque is a noun phrase, the thing we're talking about. In this case, the bank. Est means is. Ouverte is the adjective meaning open. It ends in I because bank is a feminine noun. Jusqu'à 17 heures means until 5 p.m. So that's how la banque est ouverte jusqu'à 17 heures fits the pattern noun or noun phrase est ouverte jusqu'à time. The bank is open until 5 p.m. Here's another examples. Le magasin est ouvert à partir de 8 heures. The store is open from 8 a.m. Le magasin est ouvert à partir de 8 heures. The store is open from 8 a.m. Let's try one more. La bibliothèque est ouverte jusqu'à 19 heures. The library is open until 7 p.m. La bibliothèque est ouverte jusqu'à 19 heures. The library is open until 7 p.m. Another one. Le restaurant est ouvert à partir de midi. The restaurant is open from 12 p.m. Le restaurant est ouvert à partir de midi. The restaurant is open from 12 p.m. One last example. La piscine est ouverte jusqu'à 21 heures. The pool is open until 9 p.m. La piscine est ouverte jusqu'à 21 heures. The pool is open until 9 p.m. Now you know how to manage a hotel check-in in French. And you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to discuss plans in French? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Fanny and this is 3-Step French by FrenchPod11.com. In this lesson, you'll learn to discuss plans in French through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Est-ce que tu fais quelque chose samedi? Non, je ne fais rien. Je suis libre samedi. Alors nous pouvons nous entraîner ensemble à la salle de sport. Oui, je veux bien. Ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à la Comtesse. Est-ce que tu veux venir? Bien sûr. Let's hear it with the English translation. Est-ce que tu fais quelque chose samedi? Are you doing anything on Saturday? Non, je ne fais rien. Je suis libre samedi. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm free on Saturday. Alors, nous pouvons nous entraîner ensemble à la salle de sport. Then, can we train together at the gym? Oui, je veux bien. Yes, I'd like that. The next sentence will be the one we analyze. Let's examine its components. Ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à la Comtesse. Est-ce que tu veux venir? Tonight, I'm going to have a drink with my friends at La Comtesse. Do you want to come? First is the phrase ce soir, meaning tonight. Ce soir. Ce soir. Next is the phrase je vais boire un verre, meaning I'm going to have a drink. Je vais boire un verre. Je vais boire un verre. After, this is the phrase avec mes amis, with my friends. Avec mes amis. Avec mes amis. Next is the phrase à la comtesse, meaning at la comtesse. À la comtesse. À la comtesse. All together, it's ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à la Comtesse. This translates as tonight I'm going to have a drink with my friend at La Comtesse. Next is the sentence Est-ce que tu veux venir? Meaning, do you want to come? Est-ce que tu veux venir? Est-ce que tu veux venir? All together, it's ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à la Comtesse. Est-ce que tu veux venir? This translates as tonight I'm going to have a drink with my friend at La Comtesse. Do you want to come? Bien sûr, of course. Let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that all of our examples will follow. Subject plus aller, present, plus infinitive phrase, subject plus is going to, plus infinitive phrase. This structure is used to talk about something you're going to do in the near future. You start with the subject of the sentence. Next is the verb aller, meaning to go, conjugated in the present tense to match the subject. Then comes an infinitive verb. This is the action the subject is going to do. The infinitive stays in its base form, like boire, meaning to drink. So the structure je vais boire means I'm going to drink, with vais being the present tense of aller and boire as the action. Let's see how a line from the dialogue follows this pattern. Ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à la Comtesse. Tonight, I'm going to have a drink with my friends at La Comtesse. In this sentence, ce soir means tonight, giving us the time this is happening, but it's not part of the pattern. Je is the subject, meaning I. Vais is the present tense form of aller, matching the subject je, and means I'm going. Boire is the infinitive verb meaning to drink. Together, je vais boire means I'm going to drink. The rest of the sentence gives more details about what the speaker is going to do. Un verre means a drink. Avec mes amis means with my friend. And à la Comtesse tells us the location, at La Comtesse. So, ce soir, je vais boire un verre avec mes amis à La Comtesse means tonight, I'm going to have a drink with my friends at La Comtesse. Now, you can use this structure to talk about your plans in French. In France, socializing over drinks is an important part of daily life, especially during l'apéro, which is short for apéritif, meaning a pre-dinner drink. In the early evening, friends or family often gather at a cafe, bar or someone's home to enjoy light alcoholic beverage like wine, pastis, an anise-flavored spirit popular in the south, or kir, which is white wine mixed with blackcurrant liquor. These drinks are usually served with small snacks such as olives, nuts, or a slice of saucisson, meaning dry-cured sausage. L'apéro isn't just about the food and drink, it's a cherished moment of connection and relaxation that sets the tone for the evening meal. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Je vais étudier à la bibliothèque. I'm going to study at the library. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Here, je is the subject meaning I. Vais is the present tense form of the verb aller, which means to go, and it's conjugated to match the subject je. Then we have étudier, which is the infinitive verb meaning to study. This is the action that the subject is going to do. The rest of the sentence, à la bibliothèque, means at the library, and tells us where the action will happen. So that is how je vais étudier à la bibliothèque fits the pattern subjects plus aller, present, plus infinitive phrase. It means I'm going to study at the library. Here's another example. Je vais voir un film au cinéma. I'm going to see a movie at the cinema. Je vais voir un film au cinéma. I'm going to see a movie at the cinema. Let's try one more. Je vais faire un gâteau pour la fête. I'm going to bake a cake for the party. Je vais faire un gâteau pour la fête. I'm going to bake a cake for the party. Another one. Je vais jouer au football au parc. I'm going to play football at the park. Je vais jouer au football au parc. I'm going to play football at the park. One last example. Je vais regarder un film à la maison. I'm going to watch a movie at home. Je vais regarder un film à la maison. I'm going to watch a movie at home. Now you know how to discuss plans in French. And you can move on to the practice. Au revoir!
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free French ebook before it's gone.